Trinidadian contingent is led by ATTIE, the Barbadian contingent perhaps led by Blast of Storm, and from Canada, perhaps Warley. With me here is Paul Locke, of course, the winner, twice a winner of the big Barbados Gold Cup, whether it be the Cockspur or the Sandy Lane. Paul, you have a last competing here, one of the few Creoles to run in this race. Any thoughts of the past, any thoughts on the future, any thoughts of today?
Well, I don't think he's going to get it because he's first reserve, and I think they're all going to stand their place. That's fair enough. He's a relatively young horse. We'll go next year. There's a nice race from in a fortnight's time. Obviously, we'd like to run today, but you can't always get what you want.
Yeah. Paul, this is a big day in Barbadian racing. You've been a twice winner of the Gold Cup. What does the Gold Cup mean to Paul Locke personally?
It's the greatest race in the world. It's the greatest fun, the greatest crowd participation. I love it. I'm going to win it a couple of times more when I get the chance.
Thank you very much, sir. Here we have Mr. DULAL, WHITEWAY, owner of the Horse of the Year 2001 in Trinidad and Tobago, New Millennium. What are your chances this afternoon?
I don't think that we have an outstanding chance because the filly didn't travel very well. She came in on Tuesday, and I think we need a general rough passage. But she's recovered. She's a very good race day horse, and we are very hopeful.
Listening, you're the trainer of NICODEMUS, the lone Creole in the Barbadian Creole in the Barbados Sandy Lane Gold Cup this year. A front-running sort, a very good Creole, very good horse. What are your chances today?
Kelly, to be quite honest, you know, he has as good a chance, I guess, as anybody. He's not a very big horse. He's really not been at his best lately. Of course, he's running with a much higher class of horse than he's really accustomed to running with. He's been training great. The stable is very happy with him.
Can we expect some exciting front-running tactics again today?
Well, you know, I figure he's an old dog, and you can't teach an old dog new tricks. He's won all his races, 10 races from in front, and I don't think now is the time to try holding him up.
Perhaps one of the youngest owners to win a Gold Cup in Barbados, Mr. ATTIE III. You're in here with WAHOO, the full brother to Peace and Boy. Is there anything particular going after the full brother Peace and Boy for your chances in the Gold Cup?
Well, he's worked well during the week and whatnot, and you know, everything seems to be alright. My dad's happy with how he's been training, Richard's happy, and the jocks are real happy with him, so, you know, with a bit of that, all should go well.
I have with me Mr. Roger PARRAVICINO, trainer of the Barbadian champion, TALKABOUTLUCKY. Roger, she's been a bit overshadowed by Blast of Storm. What are your chances this afternoon?
She should run a good race.
Are you happy with her run-up to the Gold Cup so far?
Yeah, she's training well and keeping good health.
What kind of position would you expect in the race?
Well, I went against going to be a little fast, so she'll go 5th or 6th, and I go for the end, we'll be cutting him down.
We look at the field for the Gold Cup. Right ahead of us here is number 2, another decision. Looking superb in the ring. He's the motor of Nobel Grego. He takes 124 pounds. This fellow has some experience. He ran 3rd in last year's Gold Cup. Manaman Mirage, his owner and trainer, have decided to bring him back here to the Garrison Savannah. He knows the track well. We expect a very good run from him. He's followed closely by number 7, WAHOO. A new acquisition by ATTIE Joseph III. Of course, he was a previous winner of the Gold Cup with Peace and Boy. Incidentally, this is the full brother to Peace and Boy WAHOO. Lee Newman rides and takes 124 pounds. Much is expected from this brown horse by warning. Number 9, of course, is Blast of Storm. He's looking for 3 straight in the Gold Cup. He's ridden by Jonathan Jones today, takes 129 pounds. Looks well, but he has his race really cut out for him this afternoon, and he has a very powerful field. ATTIE number 1 is the leader of the Trinidadian contingent. He's moved the Garrison very well. He won the DEANE last year in record time. Excellent fair. Ram Family top rider aboard and takes 129. TALKABOUTLUCKY number 6 leads the Barbados contingent after Blast of Storm. She's a champion filly of 2001. Jamamon has the ride and takes 122 pounds. A classic filly, but she has a race on her hands. NICODEMUS number 3 is a crack local Creole. Takes 119 pounds. Trotman rides this front-running son of Nosferatu and Peace Token. He has some class, but this field is a very powerful one for him today. Not much has been said about number 11, Dance Numerous, but this mare ran 2nd to TALKABOUTLUCKY in the Valgale Cup in a time of 1:49 and change. She takes 116 pounds, loves a very strong gallop, and a very capable Ricky Walker will have the charge of this filly. New Millennium, number 12, comes towards us. This is the 2001 Horse of the Year of Trinidad and Tobago. She's a 5-year-old chestnut mare by Freshly Squeezed of Renata. She has won over the trick, and Ricky Jaddo rides. She's followed by Storm Hunter, the 2nd in charge of Bill Marshall. for Lord Michael Taylor this afternoon. Dale Whitaker has won the Gold Cup already on the local champion Creole, and Tom Hunter must be a factor 115 pounds. These are the three top riders who have the engagement for Mr. Melnick this afternoon. Simon Husband to the left, riding Skeets Bay. His brother Pat Husband in the middle, champion jockey, the rider of Warley, and Christy Griffiths to the right, who will partner, of course, Airy Hill. This is Sean Hall and Mr. Eugene Melnick leading the Canadian horses up the home stretch here as they come from their quarantine stalls to come into the Prairie Ring. They are led by number 4, Skeets Bay, in the blinkers. This one is the mount of Simon Husband, and he takes 124. Following behind him is number 5, Airy Hill. Christy Griffiths rides this one at 125 pounds, very much on his toes. And of course, the pre-race favorite, Warley, number 10. The bulk of Pat Husband takes 125 pounds. He's cool, calm, and collected. Those are Canadians, and that's the team before the Gold Cup.
From all reports, she's a great horse. I think she's just a bit overshadowed. And they're off. Nicodemus towards the bipole. It is Nicodemus on the inside that shows front another decision said. It is Nicodemus and then Skeets Bay there, and then on the outside of that is Airy Hill. They come down towards the chute for the first time, and it is the Creole Nicodemus. Down the chute for the first time, and it is Nicodemus and Skeets Bay, another decision on the inside. Then Airy Hill, Warley tucked in, making ground, and talk about Lucky Blast of Storm coming up on the inside, so to Wahoo. But wide on the outside as they go around the turn, it is Airy Hill. The trailer at the moment is New Millennium, who got out very badly. The first quarter is in 24-2. The 5.5 to run, it is Nicodemus, another decision, Blast of Storm. Then on the outside is the Warley, then between horses going nicely is Wahoo, then talk about Lucky. And then Adamar still at the back, and then right pulled up is Skeets Bay, and then the last of all is New Millennium. They go with 4 furlongs to run. And the leader on the inside is Nicodemus, but Warley now tackles in to go on. The third place horse is Blast of Storm. Another decision still on a tight hold. Wahoo being asked to go, but they reach the top of the hill. And it is still Nicodemus on Warley, but Warley looks very comfortable in front. Blast of Storm beginning to catch it. But it is the three of these as they come back to the quarter mark. And it is Warley who goes, but Blast of Storm is rolling him up as they come to the past the quarter mark. They got a furlong and a half to go. Nicodemus is there. Talk about Lucky is trying, but it's between the first two they come to home. Pat Husband with Jonathan George, and here comes Blast of Storm. Inside the final furlong, in the inside is the Airy Hill, but Blast of Storm going away from Airy Hill. The third horse on the outside is talk about Lucky, Tom Hunter. But Blast of Storm is going to make it 3 in a row, and can't foul. Blast of Storm wins it by half a length from Warley in the next one through, and talk about Lucky. The man Bond himself, I haven't seen for Jonathan, he's known as Bond. Jonathan Bond, that's the man. Tell me about the race a little bit, Jonathan. It was a very comfortable ride. When you turned for home, did you know you had Patrick put away?
I knew that I was beat him. I was just running from the end of the company, but I knew that I was beat him.
Jonathan, many congratulations. I'd like to get a word with Bill Marshall, gentlemen, if we could just get an ease for the TV cameras. Thank you. Bill, we had a word before the race, and you were quietly confident. I know you're very emotional now, but Bill, this is a wonderful training feat. 3 in a row. Congratulations. Well done.
Very much indeed. Thank you very much. I'm very happy and pleased for everybody. The whole Barbados.
Absolutely. Bill, Jonathan rode him well, and once again the RB who has supported racing so well in Barbados has won a Gold Cup winner.
I'm so pleased to them and for Stable and everybody, including myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Bill Marshall, the trainer. Thank you very much.
The successful winner of the Barbados Standard in Gold Cup 2002, Mrs. Sally Arbit, and she's accompanied by Mrs. Dean Smith, and we have replicas being presented to Mrs. Dean Smith here. Of course, she's already received a trophy from His Excellency the Governor General. Congratulations to everyone concerned.
Sandy Lane Gold Cup Day.
There it goes. O'Hara quickly, so to final answer. Goldberg from the outside. Mr. Dictator is in it, so to time flies. Jersey Girl has got a good as being the only treble winner of the Barbados Sandy Lane Gold Cup. And in the process, Blast of Storm returned an identical time that he did last year in the record 1:48 and 3/5. It's an excellent race, great competition. Wardy from Canada, owned by Mr. Eugene Mendley, and the ride of Patrick Hasbrook gave us the race that we expected, and that was the way it finished. Blast of Storm, Wardy, and the local champion TALKABOUTLUCKY. Of course, apart from the Gold Cup, Donald Jones registered 2 races in the first 2 of the afternoon, and this certainly will be a memorable race day for him as he makes his way back to Woodbine in Canada on Sunday. Racing continues on March the 16th, and on that day we will have about 8 races on the day's card. As usual,